Let me do this. He stepped aside while you picked up the pieces of broken eggshells from the bowl before putting them aside. Jungkook was observing you while standing near you. He didn't say anything, neither interfere in the middle and let you cook. In fact, he was happy that you are looking in a pretty good mood and not like other days. To be honest, you still don't know how to cook, right? He said while frying the egg. I'm sorry, I know I'm a terrible cook. He looked at him and smiled a little. At least you try. That itself is a great thing. You gave a plate in his hand with a fried egg. I'm not a chef, but I cook decently. Now taste it and tell me. Jungkook wanted to know what had happened to you, but whatever was it, he felt happy. He felt different. He was falling more and more. He toasted a few slices of bread and made some fried eggs. It's ready. I always eat this in breakfast, so I don't really know what else can be made. But let's eat these. He walked near the dining table before placing all the things on the table. You looked at him when he didn't come. Aren't you eating? He nodded and walked near before sitting on the chair. But you make good coffee. I love the taste. He said, taking a sip while his lips curled up into a slight smile. Do you? He looked at him and then nodded slowly. Yes. Why do you hate your father? He stopped midway of taking a sip from his cup and slowly turned his face towards you, who were standing near the glass window. Your eyes were on him and you were curious to know why he was crying in his sleep. This thing was bothering you and you really wanted to know about it. I heard you cursing your father while sleeping. Did something terrible happen related to him? You yourself were surprised to see how much courage you have got that you are not afraid to ask him such personal things. One thing was that you were sure he would never harm you or disobey you, and that's why you've decided to teach him what true love feels. What else did you hear? You sighed and shook your head slightly. That's it. I think you have had a bad relationship with your father. I wish I could end him with my own hands, but that monster died without bearing any pain. You didn't understand why he has so much hate for his father, but you decided to stay silent. He himself started to tell you everything, and that made you realize that he needed someone to listen to him. He needed to know and feel the true and healthy relationship because he grew up with a dominant father who treated his wife like a trash. Still, I didn't understand why she never ran away from him. Why she kept on accepting him and loving him when he treated her like a trash. She once said she can't leave him because she loves him. He looked at you. That was not love, right? How can a person hurt his or her love and still claim that it's love? His eyes were yearning to hear the answer. You nodded. You are right. A person never hurt the one whom he loves. Then why do you talk about leaving me, running away from me? Your heart dropped. I love you and I never hurt you. Then why don't you want to stay with me? He started to come closer to you. It's not like that, Jungkook. Then tell me what it's like. Tell me how I should love you. Tell me how I can win your heart. You both looked deep in each other's eyes. You could see the pain and guilt in his eyes. You don't have to do anything. Love happens on its own. You never realize when you fall for the other person, but he was looking at you intently. But what? You looked at in his eyes. Physically hurting someone is not the only way you hurt someone. Sometimes it's mentally too. You could see from his expression that he doesn't understand you. When you love someone, you don't force them to love you, Jungkook. You don't cage them like an animal. He understood what you are talking about. I know that you are finding it hard to figure out how to express your love. It might be difficult for you, but in that process, you are unknowingly repeating the same thing again, just like your father. Tears fell down from his eyes, which you were not expecting, and you got a bit taken aback, thinking you might have not said that. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. He shook your head. I'm not saying it in a bad way, Jungkook. I know you are trying. Let's talk later. You left a bit confused when he suddenly interrupted in middle and walked away from there. You let out a shaky breath and sat on the chair. You were looking for Jungkook everywhere but didn't find him. Your face stopped in midway as you slowly walked towards the table on which a bouquet of beautiful roses were. You took the note which was stuck with it. You lowered your hands and looked at the red roses when suddenly you flinched as Jungkook back hugged you before resting his chin on your shoulder. He closed his eyes before burying his face in the crook of your neck, sending chills inside your body. He whispered in his deep voice, making you gulp. What are you doing? What? You can what, Jungkook? You removed his hand from your waist and looked at him. Try to understand, Jungkook. Do not misunderstand this madness as love. It's not the same. Jungkook lifted up his head when a hand extended towards him. His eyes lifted up and met yours. You smiled and signed him to take the cream bun from your hand. You can't come in this room like this. He grabbed his hand and put the cream bun in his palm before sitting beside him. Why not? This was the same place you brought me after you brought me from my mom in exchange of money. You saw his eyes lowering down. I'm just joking. I made this cream bun, so taste it and tell me is it tasty or not. He looked at you for a few seconds and then slowly took a bite. You were curiously looking at him waiting for his reaction, but he maintained the same straight face, making you sigh. It's not tasty, right? He looked at you. No, it's delicious and different. Your face brightened up with his compliment. Really? Let me taste it then. You took a bite with so much hope, but everything crashed down when the taste hit your taste buds. You vomited right away. He offered you a glass of water. Drink it. You took the glass from his hand and gulped it one go. Are you okay? You looked at him and hit his arm, making him chuckle just a little. Yeah, why didn't you tell me that I put salt instead of sugar? Why did you lie? I didn't lie. I told you it's different and I love the taste because you made it for me with so much love. You're seriously crazy. You wiped your mouth, but Jungkook was not being able to stop himself from looking at you. You felt a little nervous when your eyes met. Why are you looking at me? I'm sorry, but I seriously can't help. Sometimes you give me too much hopes that I myself start to get scared. What if it's just a dream? You looked down. I'm sorry. Sorry for treating you the same way as everyone else did. Uh, that time I was influenced by how others thought about you. I forgot all your kindness and generosity. I'm sorry, Jungkook. I never blamed you for that. I still love you the same as I did before, and even now, I'm falling for you more. You looked at him, and for the first time, you felt like hugging him tightly, embracing him so that he can also feel the essence of love that he's trying to make you feel. And you did. You wrapped your arms around him, pulling him into a gentle hug that made his heart beat differently for the first time. He never felt such peace and comfort anywhere before. You slowly patted his back. Now I won't run away from you. Now I won't tell you to stop loving me. You are allowed to love me and let me also fall in love with you. You made a decision to teach him how to love. You knew you will only make his obsession worse by running away from him, hating him, which not only will make your life hell but he will also destroy himself. You finally realized that only love can heal him and he only needs your love to heal. He is not bad and he was never. He was just crazy for love. Boss, that lady is here. Jungkook raised his brow thinking whom he is talking about, but then it didn't take him time to realize. Let her. The bodyguard nodded and walked out. Jungkook was amazed like how she found his place. After a second, your mom walked inside. She lowered her eyes when she noticed Jungkook's sharp gaze on her. You even find out where I live. What are you? I asked one of your men. Jungkook got up and walked near her. What do you want now? She looked nervous and a little hesitant. He noticed her grip on the strip of her handbag was really tight. Can I meet my daughter for once? Jungkook stayed there looking at her in amusement and then laughed like a maniac. What? Can you please repeat that because I think I've heard something different. She pressed her lips together, still hanging her head low. It's a request, please. You're really very funny woman. Do you think Ryan would like to meet you? I can't see my lady being back to that traumatized life again just by looking at your face. He was serious now. I just want to have a few talks with her. I promise I will leave. Please, I'm begging you. She dropped on her knees and started begging. Can I know why suddenly you are so desperate to meet your daughter? The one you yourself threw away from your life for some money? She started crying. I want to apologize to her. I don't care if she forgive me or not, but I want to apologize to her. Jungkook sat on a level and looked at her. No, you have to apologize until she forgives you, or else this time I won't spare your life. She gulped. He smiled when he saw Jungkook coming. These days you feel like your life has turned a different way, a good way. Slowly you're finding yourself. In this journey of finding and teaching love, you're falling in love with him more. Now you understood his madness. He wasn't crazy, he was just in love. It started to become healthy when you started feeling comfortable with him. When you put your hate aside and started loving him, you understood that you were also in love with him. You ran to hug him, but your feet stopped in middle and smile faded when you noticed the person walking behind him. You slowly looked at Jungkook while he nodded with his eyes. Your mom looked at you with guilty eyes. Why? And her voice came out in a whisper which you took a step back. Why are you here? Now what do you want? Why? I know I'm a terrible mother and I have no right to come to you like this, but you are my daughter. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry, my child. She burst into tears while you looked away, trying to fight with the tears. No wonder you hate her now, but she is your mother. She was greedy. She doesn't even thought for once before selling her daughter to a person she was rarely known. Daughter? Did you ever love me as a daughter? Did you even care about my existence? She cried. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. I know I have no right to be called a mother, but fine. I'm truly guilty for my behavior. I just want you to forgive me so that I can at least die peacefully. Your father made our relationship worse. He cowardly ran away, leaving you shattered. I know I was terrible and that's why I kept you away from me. You scoffed and looked at her. So now you're blaming my dead father? How low can you go? She shook her head. We were not even married. He ran before you born just because he doesn't want you to take the responsibility of an unwanted child. He left me struggling. Your heart dropped. You were hearing this first time. Jungkook was also surprised and extremely sorry for you. What? She nodded. I went through a lot of hate and humiliations. I was forced to think that you came as a curse. I was wrong and I'm still wrong, and that's why I'm here to ask you for forgiveness. Please forgive me, my child. You tried to control your tears but failed miserably. This still didn't justify her actions, but what happened can't be brought back. No wonder you still hate her, but she was not completely wrong. At least she didn't abandon you just like your father. Don't make me feel like a bad person by begging. I will never forgive you as a daughter, but still, I don't hold any hate for you. I shouldn't have felt bad on the first place considering the way you used to live before. You never even talked like a mother and daughter do, right? She sobbed. I'm sorry, Oma. She slowly lifted up her face before looking at you when you called her Oma. I don't think we should see each other. I'm no one to forgive you because you have already been through a lot because of me. But now, it's better that we actually live like strangers, as if we never belonged to each other. You walked upstairs wiping your tears. Your mom closed her eyes, letting the tears fall down. Jungkook turned you towards him and hugged you before patting your hand. You stayed silent, resting your forehead against his chest. You were not crying because there were no tears, but it doesn't mean you were not sad for your mother. for yourself and for everyone. She was alone. It wasn't her fault completely. He tightly hugged Jungkook. Don't think too much about it. Let's focus on bettering our future. He was caressing your hair. You're right. Now I won't look back because if I do, I know I will only complain. I better give myself a new life. Yes, good decision. You broke the hug and looked at him. Will you be there with me until the end? He caressed your cheek with his thumb and chuckled softly.